Welcome to Refined Resilience. I'm your host, Kari Hill, and on this podcast, we highlight the small moments that shape our journey toward greatness and remind us that resilience isn't linear. Each episode features stories of perseverance and the little victories that often go unnoticed, illustrating that resilience is about finding strength in everyday life. Well, friends, I am so thrilled to bring to you this week my fabulous friend, Kari Diaz, who's over here smiling big and making me feel all warm and fuzzy. Kari is originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, and she's the current host of Fresh Living, a lifestyle program on CBS affiliate KUTV Channel 2. Many of you recognize that. Before joining KUTV, Kari hosted Homes Today, a Utah edition on ABC4. She spent several years in Los Angeles when she launched her career in the entertainment industry, appearing in national commercials for brands like Schwinn Bikes, Subway, Ford, Cafe Rio, Verizon, Mile IQ, and Del Taco. Del Taco, girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kari's acting credits also include a range of films, but she is perhaps best known for her starring role in the Hallmark Channel's Christmas Angel. I love that movie. Her other notable appearances include roles on Ocean's 13 with Brad Pitt, my man, and George Clooney, HBO's Mosaic alongside Sharon Stone, Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, and Blind Dating with Chris Pine and Jane Seymour. In addition to acting, Kari has modeled for prominent brands such as Land Rover, Polaris, Strivectin, and she's appeared on the cover of the PlayStation video game Sony SingStar. Although her career has taken her around the world, Kari's very favorite place is at home in Salt Lake, where she enjoys quality time with her husband and daughter. Wow.
Hi.
So I did not know that you were in Yellowstone.
Yes, that was such a fun experience. That's initially where I started in the industry, was TV and movies and commercials. So to be able to do that, I filmed that maybe five years ago. And to be on, that's where I love to be on set.
Yeah.
Movies, TV shows. It was so much fun.
Yeah. How fun. Did you get a hat?
I didn't get a hat. I need your hat. I was like saying your hat
If
is
you
amazing.
are providing hats for Yellowstone, we would like a hat, please.
We would like to say yes. And it was so fun.
Yeah. Well, you've had a really long history. You've been in like theater, public face entertainment for a really long time.
Just
Kari,
makes me feel really old when you were reading that. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like I look back in my 20s and living in LA.
Yeah.
And, such a good experience doing that. I'm glad I did that. But I love being here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Well, and we're so happy that you are in Salt Lake City because you've added so much value over the years to our television watching experience. And
thank you.
Yeah. And the industry has changed so much since you've been in it from, the onset. So tell me a little bit, Kari, how you got started in the entertainment space.
Okay. I was 19. Well, initially, so my sister and I, we danced our whole life.
Yeah.
Competitions, performances. So I've always kind of been on stage performing. I played piano. I've always loved you get just like that thrill of performing for people. But then I started taking acting classes right out of hair school. So I have my cosmetology license. I went to hair school when I was 18, graduated. And then like at the tail end of that, somebody said, hey, my friend is doing some acting classes. Would you like to take some? I'm like, yeah, I've always wanted to do acting.
Yeah.
So I started taking and fell in love with it immediately, was obsessed with it and diving into these characters and these storylines. And then I got an agent and started just auditioning. And then kind of just snowballed from there. And I mostly started, like I mentioned, in TV and commercials and movies before I got into the hosting world. And it's such a wild ride.
Yeah.
I mean, you auditioning, I look back at my younger self and I still get, when we get those no's in life or, where you're auditioning or whatever you're doing, it's really hard to take sometimes, especially at first. I mean, you mostly get no. And when you get a yes, it's a lot of fun when you book that role or even a callback. But at first, when you get those no's, you take it so personally. You're like, what, why am I not good enough? Am I not pretty enough? Am I not smart enough? Am I not talented enough? There's like so many things that run through your head. And it really builds it really builds yourself and your confidence, because you have to be able to take a lot of no's, a lot of it.
Well, and Kari, you went from like dancing to like, you know, to entertainment. You just cited that. And when you're young and the entertainment world is notorious for being very body conscious, very focused on the vanity of it, right?
Yeah.
And what you look like. And so much of that is, are you the perfect weight? Are you the perfect face? Are you, right?
Yep.
So I think for me, that would feel like a rejection of all of me, right? Not just like, no, you're not the right fit for the part, but like, oh, I'm not the right size. I'm not the right. And then you start like having that self-doubt. How did you deal with that? Or was that a part of your experience in rejection?
You know, it's interesting because being in your 20s and you're so like impressionable.
Yeah.
It's really hard to not take personally. And I remember being up for this role where I was a yoga instructor, and I was like 24 years old. I was tiny, I was fit, and I didn't get it. And I was told that I wasn't yoga enough. I didn't look the part enough. And I really took that so personally.
Yeah.
And then I found out the reason why I didn't get it is because they hired their niece. So I think we build these stories in our heads of why we're not good enough. And yes, it could be because you don't look the part, but a lot of the time, it's because they end up not having the budget for that part. So they cut that part out, or they hire somebody's niece, like that happened in my situation, because they are, someone's funding it, so they need a favor. It could be because the lead is brunette and they actually need a blonde, or there's like so many reasons that are out of your control, that I finally realized that once I just let go, put it all out there in front of me and realize what I can control and what I can't. And that really helped me to process the no's, to realize like it's not personal sometimes. Yeah. And the more time you spend, and it's so easy to do, and I did it so many times, the more time you spend like worrying about that situation, and you're not moving forward to the next one, you're losing out on that next opportunity because your headspace is still in the last one. Yeah. And so a lot in life that can apply, like in acting or not in acting, like just in life in general, the more you realize, hey, I can't really control this, and just let go, it feels good. Yeah. It feels really good just to be able to do that. It's hard to do, but it feels nice. As
opposed to the ruminating, which feels like it just sucks energy out of you all the time, right? And it prevents you from being able to move forward because you're just stuck. You're stuck. Like you said.
Yeah. And no one wants to feel that, because there's sometimes, and most of the time in life, honestly, there's nothing that you can do about it. Right. And so it's just adjusting your own attitude about it. And I say this, and it's so much easier to think about it and talk about it than actually doing that. But if you can, just let go. Just let go. Think about something in your life that you are trying to hold on to and trying to just may not be for you. Yeah. Let go. Yeah. So much easier.
Thank you for that, Kari. It is easier to, it sounds easier to do that, right? The journey to that can be really challenging, or it can be really easy sometimes. Yes. Right? It's just like, oh, wait, I can let go of that? Okay. Yeah. Depending on what it is. So I really, I appreciate our friendship, Kari. We've known each other. We were just talking before we came on. A long time. Like 10 years, I've been seeing you on the set of Fresh Living off and on with different clients. And one of the things that I appreciate so much about you is that you are always kind, that you're always positive, you're open to ideas, you're open to people, you're open to learning.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
I think when you've got guests on, you're really interested in their journey because you've had your own journey, right? So people's stories are interesting and you're curious about them. And so you do a really great job of giving people the space to share as much as they can in a very short time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am curious. I am a very curious person. I want somebody to be able to share their story. I really love being able to bring somebody on the show and make sure they're comfortable, because cameras are weird. Cameras are, if you're not used to it, it's like, you're like,
they're intimidating.
It's so weird, So being able to just have a conversation with someone and make make sure they know that I'm their friend, that I'm here to listen and help them share their story with the community is so powerful to me. It feels so good to be able to let someone have their voice, you know, which everyone wants to feel seen and heard, and they deserve that.
You know, with you being the face, if you will, always a public figure, always. Like, how many years have you been doing this, Kari?
Oh gosh. 20. Okay, so I've been at KUTV 12 years.
Yeah.
But I started in 2000. Oh my gosh, 2000.
Okay. Yeah. So over 20 years.
Yeah. Over 20 years.
Yeah. And here you are. You've been a public face in some capacity for over 20 years, Kari. And speaking about journeys and connectivity and showing up and letting things go and not taking things too personally when they feel personal, right, about your body or any other aspect of your profession. How do you show up every day as Kari Hucker Diaz, the face, right?
You're so nice. Not well sometimes. I'm going to tell you that because I showed up today and I was like, oh my gosh, Kari, I didn't ask you if we're going to be on camera. And I'm in a sweatshirt and I'm in my yoga pants.
And you're rocking it.
You're so nice. But then I decided, I thought about it and like, this is how it's meant to be.
That's right.
Because I want to be real and I want to be very comfortable with, and sometimes when I get on set, I'm always, you know, dressed up and so it's like, I think this was meant to be today that I'm here in my yoga pants and my sweatshirt to be very honest and very real with life and how hard it is for everyone. I mean, we're all going through it, right? There's I mean, if we had any idea of the battles that people face every single day, and how heavy it is for people. But I think, I lost, I'm trying to think how far back I go. So I've been on camera for 24 years and on the show, most recently Fresh Living, for 8 or 9 years. And I've never not known the stress of a parent being deathly ill. 3 weeks after my daughter was born, my dad was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. And I was not on the show yet. I had gone on maternity leave. And when I came back 3 months later, they had an opening on the show, asked if I was interested. I said, absolutely. So I was going through sleepless nights with a newborn. My dad was so sick and I was trying to figure out how to like host this new show.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look back and I'm like, how did I do it? How did I get through it? When you look at the finish line that's so far ahead of you, that seems impossible, right? When you're like, I cannot even fathom thinking about how I'm going to get through another month of this. So I think what helped me was to take it, honestly, sometimes hour to hour and look back and go, I got through that hour. I got this.
Yeah.
I can do the next one.
Yeah.
If it's just little steps at a time, if you're looking at like, how am I going to get through this week? How am I going to look? I mean, that's, of course, how are you going to carry that as any human being? For us to look at our crazy week, it stresses us out. So if you stay in the moment, I feel like that really helped me to get through walking on camera when I, was worried about my dad's treatment the day before and how he was not doing well, and I had to go walk on set and smile and entertain the cameras and the audience and everything, and wondering how I was going to do it. I think it's baby steps, just a little bit at a time. And if it's 5 minutes, if you're like, I'm going to treat myself with a coffee with whatever is a treat to you, grab that treat, get through that next 5 minutes. And don't look at the entire picture because that can be so overwhelming.
Yeah. I love that. It's just celebrate that moment. I got through 5 minutes. Yeah. I got through and recognizing it with a reward, right? Rewards are very
it's a big deal. It feels good.
Right? It feels
it's like
good.
A cookie, whatever it is. Like we're all kids at heart. We still love like treats, whatever it is that like makes you feel, reward yourself and realize that you're not alone. I think a lot of the times we feel very alone.
Did you feel alone when you were on set in those moments where, I mean, you're dealing with being a new mom, which let's just talk about that for a minute, Kari, because you've been in the entertainment industry for all this time, you know, and it's a very fast paced, let's go, we've got to be here, we got to be here, and you have to look this way. And now we all know, if you've been a mom, you know, it's like the whole world stops and you lose yourself to this other human that you're taking care of. And so what was entering motherhood like for you?
You know, it was, I felt alone, honestly, even though I had a really great support system. My husband is the most phenomenal human on this planet and has dealt with a lot of loss in his life really young. So he's very good at these big life situations. Yeah. So I had a really good, and my sister, and I had a really good support system, but I felt alone in having this new baby and not really knowing, you know, when you're a mom at first, still, and my daughter's 8, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing some days.
I know, my daughter's 23. I'm like, did I do a good job?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard at any age. And so at first, and like I, didn't fit in my clothes and I had to, you know, I was being introduced as this new host on this show and I wasn't sleeping and my daughter was sleeping maybe hour to hour. She was going through that like sleep regression right at the same time. And my dad had been diagnosed. I had just lost like a pet that I'd had for 14 years. Wow. It was all in that span of like 3 months. And it's difficult. It's so rewarding being a mom. I would never take any of it back. But if you're in the depths, parents, if you're listening to this right now and you're in the trenches of newbornville, you will get through it. I promise. Just take it day to day, hour to hour, and I promise it gets better. Yeah. It does get better, but you feel like it's not gonna.
Yeah,
because you're so sleep deprived.
Because you're so sleep deprived. Yeah, and you have to show up on set and smile and put the performance on.
Put the
for
performance
the
on.
audience.
Yeah, I learned really well how to double conceal under my eyes, like I do. I use this one concealer that I swear by, and I would put a ton of it on and just like all the tricks that you learn to look awake and alive on, you know, for people. And it's, but going back to when you're going through it, you do feel alone, even though thousands of other people have probably, and are probably at the same time going through what you're going through. I don't think we share enough of our trials, especially now in a world of social media where it's like it's a big highlight reel. Yeah. We don't share a lot of our the hard stuff. Yeah. And I think it's important to balance that out. I'm a very positive person naturally, but I'm like, oh, am I being too negative if I share this? And I have to remind myself, no, when we share, it helps others to not feel alone.
Is it difficult, Kari, being a public face, to be able to have real opinions, like your actual, because it's almost like you're representing the station all the time, right? And that's, I think, a truth across the board for all, you know, public faces. But do you feel sometimes limited to what you can actually bring to the world based on that screen? Yeah,
it's hard being, and I'm in lifestyle TV, so it's a different department than news. Right. We're kind of under the same umbrella where we don't share our political opinions. We don't share our opinions on maybe like newsworthy topics, or we kind of just stay neutral. And so that can be hard because you want to engage and you want to, you know, talk with other people about it. Yeah. And we really can't. Yeah. So that can be difficult to know how to navigate that when you have to just pretty much stay silent especially on your social platforms, right? Stay like very neutral.
Yeah. Well, and I was just thinking about the experiences that you've had, you know, new motherhood, and everybody obviously knows you were pregnant, right? Because it was public. Right. And now you have this diagnosis with your father, and you experiencing these real life human emotions because you are a human, right? Going through this experience. And I was just curious to know if you felt like you could share those kinds of emotions on your social media platforms, like real life things that apply to Kari, not so much in the political realm, but you yourself.
Yeah. You know, I It's interesting. Sometimes it feels so vulnerable to share those things on social media because you don't know if people are judging you, or you don't know if, and probably people are, but you have to get to a point where you just let go of that, right? And but the feedback that I've gotten from it when I'm open about losing my mom, or having two parents that have been diagnosed with cancer back to back, or is, I will get so many messages of people saying like, thank you for being real and being open. I just lost my so-and-so, whoever was so important to them. This helped me to feel not alone. Yeah. It's interesting with grief. We all will lose someone or have lost someone. That's just like the process of life. And we all will go through it, but yet when you go through it, it's so isolating because you feel like it's so individual and so personal. Yeah. But I do feel like sharing, whatever it is, whatever struggles that you are going through, if you can, it really does help other people, and in turn, it helps you to talk about it, because we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah. Well, and it's super connective. And for somebody who is a connective person who brings that energy, to other people when you interview them, I think that is, you have to have that real, authentic component running through you that people can feel connected to, right? And so when you do share about the experiences that you've had, I think you're absolutely right. It does make you real. We always want to put, and you've put such cute videos of your husband and your daughter, and you're always doing fun things, And once in a while, Kari, we get a glimpse like, okay, I see you, girl. Like today's a hard day, right? And it feels right. It feels like, oh, good. If Kari's going through that, I can go through that too, right? Like we go through it together. And so I love those moments where you are vulnerable because I see you.
Thank you.
As you.
Thank you.
And then I really appreciate, that you bring that to the world. I want to talk about your mom. Yeah. Because, you mentioned both your parents had cancer back to back, and there's many, many, many people who have relatives who are struggling, or, young children, older people, siblings, whoever, struggling with cancer. Yeah. How did you navigate the journey of learning that your parents had cancer? And then how did you navigate the loss of your mom? Kari, what gave you strength?
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about this, because it, like I said, I think it does help. Hopefully, someone listening that maybe just got a diagnosis themselves, or their parent or their child or their loved one, their partner. It happens to everybody else until it happens to you. Yeah. And you sit back and you think, whoa. I mean, it literally it knocks you off your feet when you get those diagnoses, because you just don't think, or you at least hope that it doesn't happen to your own family, And so yeah, my dad was diagnosed in 2017, 3 months after my daughter was born, and he went through some rigorous treatments. I mean, he had chemotherapy. There's one called the Red Devil. People listening may be familiar with that, but it just wipes you. And he was in treatment for a couple good years, to a point where he got a terminal diagnosis. They told us he probably had a couple months left, that they had tried every single type of chemotherapy, everything that they could, and that was kind of it. So I remember one Christmas, my dad was getting presents for all of us and planning, and just knowing that like that was probably the last gift he was going to give us. And he Huntsman here locally in Utah, Huntsman Cancer Institute, had a trial that popped up, and he qualified for it. His age, his type of cancer, which was acute myeloid leukemia, AML, and they said, do you want to try this? Kind of your last. And he's like, why not? What do I have to lose? And it put him into remission within a month. Wow. Of him trying this. Wow. So we were back on, Dad was back, and we were working, getting him healthier, and he had a bone marrow transplant. Wow. And he was healing from that. And my mom was like right by his side, taking him to all of his appointments. And getting him healthier, getting him better. And then 2020 hit, and my dad's immunity was still compromised. So we had to keep our distance from him. So we didn't see my mom and dad a lot, but we noticed during that time, my mom's weight was just dropping.
Yeah.
And we thought at first, she had just been through it, taking care of my dad and going through all that. So that can take a toll on your body. And we just like kind of thought that it was that. But then she just kept declining. We weren't seeing them a lot because we were trying to protect my dad's immunity. And then finally we got my mom to a doctor appointment. And I remember getting the text message. I was at work. And my dad said, it isn't good. And they found a tumor in her colon.
Oh my gosh.
And I think at that point they had staged it. It takes a minute to stage it. But they had staged it at, I think it was like stage 3 advanced. And so then we were like, we're going through this again, and our dad just got better. And so my mom...
Gosh, the heart, I can just feel your heart drop in that moment. Like, are you kidding? Like, this cannot be real.
To even just have one loved one be diagnosed and then to go through and be told like you're losing your dad, like that was it. And then it was just such a roller coaster of emotions. And in the meantime, I'm on camera and I'm supposed to show up and I'm supposed to... put a smile on through all of this in the back of my mind, never knowing, like I said, what parent was dying and so my mom decided to get treatment. She fought for about 9 months, really hard. She never gave up, never wanted to give up. And she was hospitalized for the last 5 months of her life. I feel so horrible. She never got any good results. Like there was never any like, yay, this is looking like we're moving in the right direction. She would get like infections and then she got COVID and then she got, like all these things. And during Christmas of 2021, she was in the ICU. I have a picture of my sister and I in like the hazmat suits because they were still...
Wow.
Right after COVID, they were making you still like suit up. We were visiting her on Christmas, like in these hazmat suits. And then she ultimately passed February 5th of 2022. And she never gave up though. Yeah. She never wanted to give up. She kept going. But ultimately, her health had declined so much, it was hard for her to keep fighting. And
how did you get through that, Kari? What did you rely on for strength? Because it's you're right, you're the pillar, you and your sister, right? You're the pillars for these two unique, beautiful individuals. And I know that you're close, especially with
we're super close.
Yeah. And so having to be the strength for them, going through these unique challenges within cancer, which I think is so fascinating that, sometimes we can sit in that space that says, why him and not her? Yeah. Why, what, right? Like that the divine being, like, why are you taking one and healing the other or vice versa, right? That faith journey, if you will, can be really
totally,
it can do like play with your head,
Yeah, it can.
And so I want to know for you, Kari, how did you go through the grieving process and build your own confidence and resilience to come back from that while being on the screen every single day? What steps did you go through to process that? Because people are doing that in their normal life. They have to show up for work. They got to show up for their kids. They're, and meanwhile in the background,
life goes on.
Yeah. It's like, but your life stops, like your world stops. I think that's the hardest thing when you go through grief, when you lose somebody, is that you literally, your whole world stops. Yeah. And you're just like a robot. You push, the automatic button and you show up and you do your thing, but you're not present there. No. You're not, so for you, what did you pull from to get through that?
That's a really good way to describe it. How you just said, like, your own world stops, but everybody's keeps going. Yeah. That's exactly how it feels. I look back on the first year and you don't realize it until you get out of it, but there's a big fog that you're in. The first year. And then I think there are levels after that slowly lift. And that's on purpose. Your brain is trying to protect you, right? This traumatic situation has just happened, not on purpose.
Right.
You know, this is like a different kind of trauma where it's like, it's the cycle of life in a way. And you're trying to navigate through going on in a world that you only knew that person in, and now they're not. And so you have to totally adjust. I remember, and I can't remember exactly who said this, but it stuck with me. You feel like untethered, where you're kind of like flying around and you feel like you don't have your ground. And, you know, you're trying to support your family members and trying to show up to work and trying to be a parent and trying to do all of these things while finding that time to grieve. And I think it's so important to know that there is no perfect way. There's no steps. You know, the old saying of like, well, there's the steps of like, you have, you're mad and then you're sad and then throw that out the window. Yes. Throw that out the window, honestly, because it's just a
Kari's
cluster.
not having that.
No, absolutely not. There's all of those emotions involved, but it's a cluster of them, and you could feel all of them at the same time. You could feel one tomorrow and then a different one yesterday. Like it's just, it's a mess. It's a giant mess. And I think the support, trying to find your support system. I was really lucky to have my husband. My husband lost his mom really young. He was 21 and he lost his brother. His brother was 31. Wow. And so he had kind of, even though all grief is different, he knew how to support me. So I think finding that support system is crucial with whatever you're going through, whether it's therapy. So that's one thing I want people to know is so helpful if it's right for you. And then also you may have tried therapy and you're like, it's not for me. You may not have the right therapist. It's tricky because you got to find that right person for you. But therapy,
it's like dating.
It is. You got to go through, you got to try different.
Date your therapist.
Yes. There should be like a Bumble or something for like therapists, right? Let's matchmaking for therapists. Seriously. It's so true. You got to find the right therapist. I luckily had one that I found. I went to therapy every single week, whether I was rushing home from work and had to stop in a parking lot and do video therapy. I did that for a minute. I just tried to commit to that every week. Medication was really key for me. I was on a medication that wasn't really working for me, so I switched to Wellbutrin. I am not a doctor, obviously, but I know that when you're open to that, it can really help. It helped me a ton. I'm still on Wellbutrin and I am very open to talk about that. Obviously, go to your doctor, figure out what's right for you, because there's many different kinds of antidepressants and things that can help with anxiety.
But thank you for just sharing that, Kari, because I think medication is still, there's a stigma still associated with medication.
Yeah, like we hide it. Like we don't want to tell people that we're on it.
But I think if you did have cancer, like your parents, they did everything that they could to figure out how to heal, how to get healthy. And I think your mental health is no different. If you're struggling,
it's so important.
Do everything that you can to save yourself, and don't second guess if you're dealing with some significant depression or anxiety. Just say, I'm dealing with this and I'm going to address it, because ultimately if you don't, Kari, I mean, the outcomes are dire, literally can be dire for you.
Sure.
So, taking medication that helps you, maybe it's not for everybody and there's a million opinions on that, right? But if you feel like you need to experience that and you work that out with a doctor and a therapist and you feel confident about that,
it can be so helpful.
It's a tool.
Yeah, it is a tool. I think we're in a society where we're finally talking about our mental health and the tools. And I'm so happy that we are talking about it now. And it can be scary, especially if like you were raised a certain way, to think like, oh, medication, I can't take medication because that means I'm crazy.
Right.
No, it doesn't mean you're crazy. It just means that you are getting some help, and we all need it at times in our life. So figure out if you're going through grief or, anything really hard, if, give it a chance. If therapy works for you, great. Medication, a good support system is so important. And if you don't have that with like family or friends, there are hotlines, there are places you can call to give you support. There's so many resources that do want to help you and that are trained professionals to deal with, you know, whatever you are going through. But I think that it's important to know that you aren't alone. You're not alone in whatever you're dealing with today at this moment, that there is someone that will be there for you, more than one person. There are multiple people that want to help you. And I think we get scared to like reach out because we don't want to like bother somebody. And it's hard to know when to ask, when the right time is, you know, but.
Well, and sometimes it's hard to, because the listener doesn't always know how to respond either to the grief, right? And so sometimes it's like you get tired of people telling you, I'm sorry, it will be okay. It's not always going to feel like this, right? Which you know, like, you know intuitively is true, but in the moment, you're like, I literally don't want false positivity at this moment. I just need somebody to validate that this sucks.
Yeah. Yes.
No, and I don't want to stay there forever, but just right now I need someone that can say, I feel that for you. I get that with you, you know? Yeah. So who was that person for you when you were going through this experience?
You know, definitely my husband. My husband was, I mean, it's a cliche saying, but he was my literal rock through, there's so many emotions going through grief and losing a loved one. And so you don't, especially if you've never done it, even if you have done it, it's different every time. And only you know that relationship with that person. It's individual. And so he would just sit with me. And I think like to the point that you just said, it's so important, especially with loss, when someone is grieving. Don't try to fix it because you just can't, you know, and that's a lot for you to try to fix anyway. So don't put that on your shoulders. If you are trying to help someone through it, don't try to fix it. Just sit with them and just say, like you said, Kari, it sucks. Like I'm here with you. This sucks. And I know people have great intention when someone is going through a grief journey. People really do want to help. And I think the most helpful is when, I mean, a lot of people would say, what can I do? What can I, and that is so nice to know that people are there. Yeah. But just during that time, your brain is so upside down that you can't even make decisions of like what to eat for breakfast. So if you know someone that is grieving, the best thing you can do is just send them a gift card because we all need to eat, right? And so that's like one thing you can take off your list of trying to decide, like a DoorDash gift card or, you know, just make a decision, put groceries at their door. And instead of asking them, hey, what can I do? They may not know at the time.
And most of the time we don't, right? I, in my experience with grieving, it's like, I don't even know how to tell you to support me right now. I don't, because I don't even know what I'm feeling. It's all the things. It's, to your point, it's a mess. Yeah, I'm a mess. Like I just, I need some medication. I need a therapist. I need a, I need a hug. I need a hug. I need it all.
It's so true. And you just try to do your best day to day. I remember at first when I lost my mom, the first few weeks, it was, I kid you not, it was minute to minute trying to get through moment to moment. Yeah. And then it eventually moves to hour and then day to day. And at first you just have to take it so slow and do what like feels comforting to you. And if that's like, get some comfortable blankets for your home or just whatever's cozy or anything that feels good to you. And I remember a lot of people would say, it gets better. It gets better. And like, I was such in a space that I was like, how can this get better? Yeah. I'm having to learn how to live without my mom for the rest of my life. Yeah. How is this supposed to get better? And I couldn't see that. Even my husband, he tried not to say that a lot because I think he understands that you're just in a headspace where you don't see that. But it does get better. Yeah. It eventually, like you will, if you're in the depths of it right now, you will feel the sunshine. You will feel love again. You'll feel the warmth, but it takes time. And that's just the natural process of grieving and losing somebody you love, especially if it's a big one. Yeah. Because the love equals the grief. So the more you love, the harder you're going to grieve.
Yeah. I can attest to that for sure. Yeah. And I think also the better you heal.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you have that deep of a love for somebody and the grieving is so painful.
Yeah.
You can also take that into the healing space and know that relationship, that love never goes anywhere. What a gift that I have that. And now I can heal with that person's soul, spirit, heart alongside me just as deeply as I did when they were here.
Yeah.
And it makes the healing. When my sister passed, and I've mentioned that a couple of times for different guests, because, you know, all of us have lost people. You join a club that you didn't really want to be a part of.
Yep.
You know, and you don't really know what the rules are of the club either. Yeah. When you come into it, it's like, I don't know how to be a member of this club.
Yeah, that I don't want to be.
I don't want to be here, you know? And I remember feeling that with my sister, this transition. I lost my sister when she was 18, and this transition of grieving to healing was just this very smooth. I don't even remember how it happened. You know, it just, you just move through it, to your point.
Yeah.
Minute by minute, hour by hour. And for me, I took my sister's soul, the memories, the good things, the joy with me into the minutes after, you know, after the initial year, where you really are just trying to get your head on straight and figure out how you're going to live your life without this person in your life for the rest of your life, you know? And so I'm curious, Kari, do you have like a ritual or a celebration, or do you do something in honor of your mom that keeps her alive for you?
You know, thank you for asking that. That's another thing that has helped me is look for signs from them, because I promise you they are there. I believe that my mom visits in butterflies. And if someone, I mean, we see like these stories on Instagram, people will post like, hey, I saw this rainbow and I know it's my mom saying hi. You have no idea how much it means to that person to see a sign from their loved one, you know, that's like, and so,
and believe it too.
Yeah.
Like, don't brush it off, right? Because when you see that, I think oftentimes we're like, oh, whatever, you know, but
it's real.
But it's real for that person.
Yeah.
That's meaningful, and it's true for them.
It's so real. And I have numerous stories of butterflies and things that have popped up in my day that I'm like, that's absolutely a sign that my mom is there. And I think that I truly believe they're closer than we know. Yeah. And so I try to carry that with me, that my mom is still cheering me on. I think one of the hardest things about losing a loved one is like, you think of when you get some good news, you think of like a celebration in your life, a big win, like who's the first couple people you want to call, and they're not there. That really hit me hard. I remember with a few things in life where I was like, that I want to call my mom. I want to tell her that, you know? Yeah. I actually have texted her a couple times. Aww. And nobody's text back. I don't know if like someone has the number or whatever, but it felt good to like just the action of like texting her, you know? And I think it's important to have rituals and things that, you know, you still celebrate and you still, every Christmas at her mortuary at the cemetery, we light candles and they put like luminaries out on the grave sites, and we go and spend some time, and then we write her name on a little ornament. We put it on the tree. Beautiful. So there's a lot that you can do, whatever feels good, obviously for you or your family. Dates are hard when that comes up, especially like first ones, like 1-year anniversaries and birthdays. And I never really understood that until you experience it. It's just a big reminder that they are not there. Yeah. And so dates are hard, but having like rituals and things that you can do and still hold on to feels so nice and comforting. And those signs, like, look for them, I promise. Whether it's like you've lost even a pet, or, you know, is someone important in your life, look for those signs because it's there and it makes you feel so good, and honor somebody who is seeing that or feeling that, because that's a big deal to them. It's a big deal.
Oh, I really appreciate that you use that word, honor them, honor their experience, right? It's not yours to judge, honor theirs. Yeah. I know for my family, we have ice cream on my sister's birthday, her favorite ice cream. We all celebrate it wherever we are in the world. We have ice cream and over time, my parents started posting it on Facebook, and their network of people, they've been in the military. So we've grown, we lived all over. And so we have all these people all over the world that knew us at different stages of our lives. And they all have ice cream on my sister's birthday, and they post pictures of it on Facebook. And so it's when you can find those moments, those butterflies, those lights, that music, whatever it is for you,
go with it.
And also, if you're invited into a space to celebrate someone that's passed away by a friend, or do that. Be in that moment with them, because it doesn't just stop when they pass, right?
No,
it's a whole journey after that. And there are friends where sometimes you just need to say, I really miss my mom today.
Yeah.
And it might be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road. I really miss my mom,
It's so true, because it doesn't stop. I mean, if you think it's a lifetime of missing that person, I have friends, my friend Jess, my friend Alora, my sister, we, once in a while we'll just say, hey, thinking of you. I saw this quote, I saw this, and that means the world. So if you see, losing somebody, grief is probably the hardest thing. There's a lot of hard stuff in life. We're all going through it, right? But losing a loved one, it's tough. It's really tough. So if you can support somebody going through that, and no matter how long it's been, if it's been 10 years that someone's lost their loved one, support them, send them a message, say, hey, thinking of you. I know this date's coming up. Like, it means the world.
Yeah,
agreed. It means the world. And I think I know it changed me completely, losing my mom. And I've always been a very, like we talked about, curious person, and like watching others, thinking of others, but it really made me aware of other people when I'm out and about, to know that, I'm a lot more patient with like a bad driver or somebody that is like rude in a store. I don't take it personally. They could be a jerk.
Sure.
Too. They could.
Yeah.
But also they could have just lost their son. And you just never know the battle that someone's fighting, whether it's divorce, addiction, loss, whatever it is. Someone's fighting a battle you probably don't know about. And so it helped me realize we need to be a lot more patient with each other, because you just don't know what somebody's going through.
Yeah, less quick to judge. I found that in my case too. Like, the empathy is the gift of grief. If you lean into it, right? It's a huge gift, because you can sit with somebody and say, yeah, I'm just sitting here, not because I'm just sitting, but because I know what that feels like. Yeah. And now I'm in that space with you. Speaking of that, Kari, you are a very positive person. And I know that you, when we did some work together for the Children's Justice of Salt Lake County, and one of the things that you highlighted when we were on screen together was this coloring book that had I am affirmations from our mutual friend, Angela Martindale.
Oh my gosh, my daughter, I love Angela too. My daughter went through that and colored it all, and it was so powerful for her.
Well, and I loved that you shared that with me on set. Like, my daughter has colored this and she's put stickies everywhere. I am. And you are really a great proponent of saying, be proud of who you are in this moment right now. Yeah. You're good at doing that. And I think with resilience, we have to have those connective points with ourselves to recognize that we are going through the challenge. And I am resilient, and I am strong, and I am awake, and I am alive, and I am happy, I am hungry, all the things, right? The I ams that say you've made it through something really challenging. And I think for you, I am proud is probably something that you say to your daughter a lot, and to yourself,
Yeah. And that took a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't sit in reflection of the things that we have done. And so to say, I am proud of myself, and not from an egocentric standpoint, but from a literal positive mindset, I am proud of where I've been. And you have something that you wrote, and I'd love for you to share that with our audience on this being proud of ourselves.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me share this. Yeah. I wrote this not really knowing where I was going to share it. I wrote it probably 6 months ago when I started coming out of like that second level of fog and that transformation of my grief journey, and really looking back thinking like I really am proud of the hard days that I got through. And even if like you just got out of bed and that was really hard for you, be proud of that. Be proud that you showed up, that you got out of bed, that you made that phone call, that you that you just are here. Yeah. Be proud, even if it's just moment to moment. And it's hard to do that for ourselves, right? Because we're always like complimenting others. Like, I'm so proud of you for that. I'm so proud of, and you're right with my daughter. I'm so proud of her for things. But once you can learn to be proud of yourself, it feels so good. Yeah. And so if you're not there yet, that's okay. It took me a long time. And some days I'm like, I'm not proud of myself for, like it feels like you've taken like a few steps back. Yeah. But I wrote this. I wanted to share it with you. If you're going through, I'm talking to you listening right now. If you're going through it and it is like, you don't see your way out of it, this is for you. And it's titled, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the strength you have right now in this very moment. I'm proud of the days you've gotten out of bed. I'm proud of the courage you've shown when your loved one vanished in front of your eyes. I'm proud of the love you were able to give yourself when you had to get to know yourself all over again. I'm proud of how you've learned to carry your grief even on its heaviest days. I'm proud of the person you have fought to become. I'm proud of you for surviving the unthinkable and bearing the unbearable. Look how far you've come, one small step at a time. And most importantly, don't forget to keep going so one day you can finally say out loud, I'm proud of myself.
Thank you for that, Kari. That was beautiful. I'm going to ask you to send that to me, and I'll put it in the description of this video.
Okay,
and
you got it.
Yes, I would love that. Thank you so much, Kari, for sharing your heart and for being vulnerable today to talk about resilience.
Absolutely. Thank you for letting me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I love you. I've known you for a long time, and I cherish you as a friend. And so thank you for giving me this opportunity.
My honor to have you come and bare your soul today about the experiences that you've been through. I want people to connect with you and get to know you. Yeah. And your lovely Instagram life. So where can people find you?
Best place, I guess, is just, I think I'm most active on Instagram, and it's just at Kari Hawker Diaz, and Kari is spelled Kari. My parents spelled it a little special. I get Kari a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's because we're from Utah. We have weird spellings here.
Yep, but Kari, you being a Kari. So it's Kari Hawker Diaz. And you can catch me Monday through Friday on KUTV on Fresh Living. It's channel 2 at 1 p.m. Yeah. And follow along.
Awesome.
Where I like to, on my Instagram, I show a lot of fun stuff that I like to take my daughter and family to do, but a lot of the hard stuff too. A lot of the hard stuff.
Yeah, you do. Thank you so much for being you. And thank you for letting all of us get to know you better outside of that little boxed screen that you're on all the time, and just get to feel your energy and your empathy and your love. Kari, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Refined Resilience. We hope you found inspiration in the stories shared and the small moments that remind us all of our strength. Remember, resilience is built not just in the big challenges we face, but in the everyday experiences that shape who we are. A special thanks to our sponsor, Build Then Bless, for making Refined Resilience possible. Until next time, remember, it's the small moments of resilience that make us great.